Kiki, if you can just state your first, last name for the record and your title.
Okay, my first name is Linia. My last name is Kiki. So it is Linia Kiki. And I'm working for American Red Cross, Long Island, New York, as a mass care manager.
Okay. Talk to me about you got there yesterday, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I received it there yesterday night, and then now we are in the hotel. Um, it is like till now, it doesn't look that bad, but it's going to be bad because I heard it's going to be in the land, making its landfall soon. So and it is Hurricane 4. So a lot of damage we are expecting. We are ready with all of our trainings to serve the community, and there are many volunteers right now here from all over the country. Right now, 266 persons are working in person in this area, like maybe including local volunteers and people like me who came from other part of the country. And 74 volunteers are working virtually.
Yeah.
There's a big team right now working for Hurricane Laura.
I wonder what is it that made you want to go down there and help out? I mean, we're in the middle of this global pandemic, and still you found it in your heart to go and do this. Now, are you just a volunteer, or are you also an employee?
Right now, I'm an employee. I joined Red Cross as a volunteer, and right now, like for I joined as a staff. I joined last year, end of September.
Okay.
But I was asked like whether I want to work virtually or in person, and I chose to be in person here. Um, I believe if we all follow the health protocol, we can be healthy and we can be safe, and still we can work for the people. So that's why I chose to be in person during this pandemic, and I love to help people.
What is the work that you're expecting to do after the storm? Because right now you're hunkered down, and
Yes.
then after the storm passes, what's the kind of work that you're going to do?
So I came as a mass care shelter supervisor. So I'm expecting that once the storm will pass and we will know how bad its impact, and then we might need to open shelters. So there is two kinds of shelters. One is congregate shelters, and now with this new global pandemic, we also working in non-congregate shelters, where in non-congregate shelters we will put the people into the hotels, but also there is limitation. So I'm expecting like we will have to open both, and I will be probably working in one of the congregate shelter as a shelter manager.
Okay. And talk to me about the work there. What exactly are you going to be doing?
Okay, so as a shelter manager, like one shelter, maybe in any of the school or any of the facility, I will be working with my people. So it's everything in that shelter. Like we have to make 6 feet distance from person to person, and also the way we will put the cot, it has to be capped 6 feet as well. Like previously in a regular like non-pandemic days, every person would get like 40 square feet per person in a cot. But right now it is 110 square feet. So spaced enough. This is good for the pandemic. At the same time, we're losing our capacity too. Like it's coming 60% less like what we could accommodate earlier. So that's also another point we are considering, and also feeding people and wiping down every 2 hourly at least, and it all the steps that we used to do earlier, this is changed.
Yeah.
So I will be taking care of those stuff and the shelters and the people.
Yeah, just talk about that briefly. You kind of touched on it just now, but
Yes.
how this time is going to be so different than the other times that you've gone out to manage shelters.
One is like staffing, right? Other time people will not be worried or be afraid to come and work, right? There are a lot of volunteers. We have amazing volunteers who wants to work for the people. But right now Some people are being afraid for their health situation, age, their comorbidities, and some people are like being afraid to come out, as you know. So that's one thing. So we will be having less staffing. We are looking for volunteers like who will love to join more and more. So mask, wearing a mask, that's a mandatory. And then we are going to screen the people like their temperatures and stuff. Our disaster health service team is going to work there, like checking their health frequently. And then feeding, we are, probably will not do like a feeding in a like a cafeteria. We will prefer to give them in their bed so they are not moving very like often. Then we are I told you we are spacing up our cots, so that's also will maintain. And if there is a family, they can cluster up, but again, 110 square feet distance from the next family, we will try to do that. There's a lot of stress for the pandemic. Like I'm thinking people might be afraid to go to a shelter, but I can assure that we will do everything to stop the pandemic and help in the shelter and maintain it in a healthy fashion.
Okay. Finally, I think just this is a huge storm. This could be a storm of catastrophic proportions. So,
Yes.
are you concerned about your safety? And then, even despite that concern that you may have, why do all of this?
It is a catastrophic storm, no doubt about it. It's going to put a big impact. So I am doing it because I feel people here will need volunteers or people like me. So I am healthy enough, I'm strong, and I can do the help. So that, like, call for humanity, that made me to be here this moment.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, you live out on Long Island and you work for the Red Cross of
Yes.
Long Island, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. How long are you going to be down there?
My assignment is for 2 weeks, so it will depend on the intensity of the storm. It might increase, it might decrease, but right now it is 2 weeks assignment.
Okay. Thank you so much. Just stay right there for a second. I'm just going to make sure the recording is all good.